Yeah, I'm so extra. Express myself, I'm next up. Yeah, one more you say. Coming up. Yeah. Come up now. Come on, stop me. Come on. You coming up.
Well, hello, everyone. You are back with us again for another Hop series. And I promise you, I feel like we were just on last night because the days and times are going by so quickly. But welcome to everyone who's joining us this evening. We hope and pray that you have had a wonderful day. Our day, well, at least my day, has been busy yet productive, but just a little too fast for me. But if you have not shared this broadcast out or shared anything that we've done, we are going to request this evening that you do us a solid and share this out. Share in Messenger, share on YouTube, share on Facebook, share wherever you need to let them know that we are on. See, I had to put my glasses on today. My vision's acting a fool right now. But we're here. And also, too, in the screen, up in somewhere on your screen, there is a QR code. If you have not subscribed to the House of Peach, you're doing yourself a disservice. We need you to subscribe so you can stay abreast of what's going on. We promise you that 2024, man, are you ready? If you thought 2023 was great with our guests and shows and topics and everything that took place, just wait for 2024. It's only up from here. We expect there to be greater things, even greater than what we had this year, to be next year. So we are excited. I am your humble host, one of them, April Anderson, and I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited about what we're going to discuss tonight. I hope that people, if you want to come on, I know it's not our He Said, She Said series, but the topic is worth discussing. So if you want to hop on in and give your little 2 cents on what we're talking about today, forgiveness, moving on, and gender roles in the home, it's just a little bit of everything in there. It's just like a casserole of stuff. Is that what I would say? A casserole?
Yeah.
That what is that? Oh my God, what is that has the dish that has, oh, I can't even think of it. It just has so much stuff mixed in, and just me hearing about the ingredients, I was like, ooh, what is that? It doesn't sound good. But it's just a melting pot. How about that? Of all kinds of topics. Yeah, the hodgepodge. So here's Morgan Harvey. Hey Mo, isn't she beautiful? Isn't she lovely?
I am loving your energy today.
I don't even know where this energy came from, but you know what? When we come on Tuesday nights, I may be like, oh my God, I forgot about the show. But as soon as I see you and we get on here, it's like, yes, let's see what's going to happen tonight, because we just never know.
Yes, no, I agree. I agree. Well, I'm happy to see your face as well. And you're right. Today was like a very awkward day in just how fast things, was just kind of moving and just a little off, I guess, a little bit in the sense of, timing, like, oh, that's what time it is, so like,
Exactly.
I need to start doing this now. And yeah, I've just been kind of into a couple of things. I feel like I have a couple of deadlines that are coming up in the next few weeks. So, trying to hyper focus.
Oh yeah.
But I'm excited. I'm like super, super excited about what is going to be going on for us next year.
Oh yeah.
I've been thinking and dreaming up some really good ideas, and how we can too be able to take this a little bit more to the streets and out into the community. So
oh yeah.
Which is a part of what House of Peach is about. So I'm excited. We're gonna do big things this year. And listen, we will meet
I know, isn't
in
that?
the first quarter of
Yes,
2024.
yes.
Like,
My little heart was broken because we didn't get together in
I
October, and I
know.
was like all geared up for that. I said, you know what? It's nothing but the trick of the enemy. You're alive. We're gonna get together.
Exactly. Wait a minute, though. Speaking of which, don't you have a birthday coming up?
I do next month, baby, and I have no clue what I'm doing for my birthday. None whatsoever.
Okay, well, sounds like we are planning a party for you. All right, guys. Our
I
wizard
hear that.
behind the
Party for
curtain.
April. Hey,
Party for April. That's what we about to put on for next month, y'all.
yeah.
And then you'll have to watch the highlights of April's party for the
Oh,
following Tuesday. So
now who do I have to pay to keep all of the videos, all of the stuff that we don't need to see?
oh no, we've got good editors. I think we'll be good to go.
No, we plan on having a good time. Good evening, Raphael. So great to have you on. So happy to have you here. Yeah, so 2024, we are looking forward to that because we have been able to reach a lot of people and a lot of folks networking and connections, but there's so much more that needs to be done. There are so many more women that are entrepreneurs that have not yet been brought out to the forefront. And if we can be the platform to introduce them to the world and get them connected and plugged in, that's what we want to do. This isn't about Morgan and I. This is about the people. It's what we can do for the community. It's who we can help, who we can push to the next level. Like most of the shows, I always end with saying we come to motivate you and inspire you and push you to your next level. Well, the only way we can do it, we're using this platform to make that happen. And we're not going to stop now. We're going to amp it up. Raphael says, I must come to the party. You must. You are absolutely welcome. Hey, Morgan, now you have put this out here on all these platforms. You better get to planning really fast.
For real. That's what I said.
Get it done.
Exactly. We're gonna get this done.
Yes. I want there to be a lot of upbeat music because I want to dance. We want to have a good time and then just enjoy each other. But yes, and I will be accepting all birthday presents, large and small, the entire month of January. So whatever you want to do, if you want to send it in the mail, if you want however you want to do it, you want to send money, I take Zelle, Venmo, all of that.
Yes, look, we're gonna put that in the comments.
Right, whatever. All birthday presents are accepted from January 1st until the 31st. I will take them. So tonight we are, hey Jason, I see you on I'm looking on my phone here because
I know. I was like, I'm trying to get
my
life together.
Connection anymore. Why it doesn't connect. But at any rate, and I'm already up here, but we can still see off both of them. Tonight we are going to discuss forgiveness, moving on, and then gender roles in the home. Now, we probably could have just done gender roles in the home, but I want to have LaShawn on for that one to make sure that she's included in that conversation. We had a great time last week with her. Hello, GH1 Accord. So happy to have you on. Share this out, share it out. Let people know we are on live. So we are going to talk about it tonight. I think in this season that we're in, so happy holidays to everyone. In this season that we're in, the focus, for those that celebrate Christmas, it's about the birth of Christ and, he came to be the savior of the world. But also, too, I look at it as a time for family and friends to come together and just spend time with each other and celebrate on whatever way that you celebrate, whether it's Christmas or not, or if it's something else, if you have another religion or practices that you have, it's still time for family. And forgiveness is a really big thing. And I saw the church that I attend here in San Antonio, shout out to Overflow Kingdom International Ministries. We have a group on Facebook, and one of the prophets of the ministry sent out a video about forgiveness and how forgiveness really, if you don't forgive, it kills you, like literally can kill you on the inside. It disrupts your normal organ system functions in your body. And if you don't forgive and you harbor that, then you could have high blood pressure, you could end up with heart issues, you could have a stroke, it could really, the stress of that. And it's better to forgive and then try move yourself on, whatever moving on looks like to you. And I had an issue with that at a time before, of really forgiving and not treating that person or those people like what they did. That's hard to do. You forgive them, but how do you still be in the same room with them? You forgive them, but how do you still be in the same space that they're in? How do you move on forward from it? But as I've grown over this past year and a half, it's become easier to say, you know what, I forgive them. I don't know what was going on with them, why they did the things that they did, but they did it. Yes, it hurt me, but whether they say I'm sorry or no, I'm going to forgive and I'm going to move on, because I have so many other things to focus on in my life other than just constantly thinking about that. So, what do you think about? What are your thoughts there, Morgan?
So I actually just ran into something I was looking at, I'm sure, online. And it was that you can forgive, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to forget. So you remember what was done so that you don't end up in the same predicament. But how do you forgive and then not treat someone a different way? Why? Because technically that's you coming out of character. That's not you being you. That's you allowing the circumstance or what somebody had done to you. So you now operating out of hurt, or you operating out of bitterness, you operating out of your immaturity because you're in your feelings for that moment, rather than exuding the person that you actually are, which is a loving person, which is a kind person. So you can be kind to someone but still not fool with them.
Right.
There's plenty of people that I do not fool with, but if they walk past, we make eye contact, they speak to me, I will speak back. I have no problem being cordial, because that's what, I know is right. That's what I know God, expects of me. And he sat down with folks that he didn't agree with, that was doing stuff that he didn't, like either. So
Right.
he, being a higher power and someone that we, are supposed to be trying to model ourselves after, or at least is supposed to be a model of what goodness is. If he can sit there with folks who are doing stuff that, would make you want to flip a table,
Yeah.
we should be able to find it somewhere. My brother is probably one of the hugest examples of being that person. And, throughout childhood, he's had, people come in and out of his life. And it was as if like they were only there for specific points. And you just had to kind of pretend that they weren't who they really were. And I used to always be like, I don't know how he does it. But there is an element of grace and mercy. And when you're inside yourself, when you are not worried about what somebody else is doing, or their lack of validation for your existence, or, them just kind of doing them, which crosses hairs, but you just stay steadfast in what you know to do, it doesn't tend to phase you. And watching what that looks like, and he's younger than me by I think about 9 years, 7 to 9 years, really taught me a lesson in how to handle the people that sometimes we have no choice but to deal with, regardless of forgiving. Now I am in a space where I can forgive you, but that doesn't mean that you have access to me anymore.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of people that at this point in time, I hold no grudges. I'm not mad at. I don't have anything bad to say about them. If, their name was brought up in conversation, I would probably smile and have some very nice things to say about them. But at the end of the day, I don't fool with you.
Yeah. And that's all a part of those boundaries that we've been talking about. The several shows that we've had talking about boundaries. Like, I forgive you and I'm going to move forward, but that access is what we don't have. And
No.
I also think about this in regards to entrepreneurship. So you go into a partnership with someone to start a business, and things happen for whatever reason. One may double cross the other, one may do something to try to undermine the other one. And so they end up parting ways, but still there's no more access. So we're going to part ways amicably. You're going to go your way. I want to go my way. We're going to do what we need to do separately. But I'm grateful for the experience, you know, and I look at that also too with business there. That's really big, because if you two are the foundation, then you have so many things to separate because your names are
Yes.
on everything. And so you have to come to an agreement. And that's where you have to be as adults and handle that well, and then move forward and not try to throw salt on anybody else's game after that. You know, hey, it is what it is. It didn't work out, but you learned valuable lessons. It's like past relationships that I've been in. They hurt, they did, but I don't count it as failed relationships. I count it as lessons. So I did learn, but trust me, you don't have that same kind of, you can't call me and be like, hey, what's up? I wanted to see if we could go out. That would be a no. Yeah, no, 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 no. We're done with that. I'm done with that season. I'm done with that part. Thank you for what I learned, because as I thought back to being married and what happened in those marriages, there were lessons I learned. But the way that I handle it now is, I forgive you. I've only had one to apologize, and it was sincere, and I forgive you, and we're going to move forward, and that's it. There's nothing else that needs to be done. There's not going to be any reconciliation at all. I'm done with that. I'm able to move forward. So we have conversations because we have a child together. So I have conversations with him, but that access that you had before, yeah, no, this is a business relationship, so to speak. We have a child to take care of. We're co-parenting. So being able to know, all right, this is how I want to do it. It's what's best for me, because nobody knows what's best for us than us. So we have to take that initiative to take care of ourselves. Even, and then back to entrepreneurship, it makes us, let me ask you this, do you think that after you've been hurt in whatever way and you have to forgive, does it really make it difficult for you to trust moving forward? I know for me it does, but at what, is it easy for you to trust the next person, or do you have your reservations, whether it's business or in relationship, friendship, whatever?
So I'm like the teachers from back in the day where everybody starts off with an A and it's up to you to keep it. So no, it's not hard for the next person to come around. Yes, I am, guard up for stuff that sounds, funky, smells fishy kind of thing. Like, yeah, but I'm not holding it to the next guy from what the person previously did, so to speak. But I do hold it against you if that is something that you're coming back for a second chance. So, and I'm not going to say I don't hold it against you, but my position has now shifted. And I'm dealing with you at the level that you have brought yourself. And until you show that you have grown, or this is something that is not a pattern, then you've got, the distanced version of me, in the sense of, if I obviously still have to deal with you, that's fine. You're still in my proximity, but you're still not on the inside of my bubble. So you're still on the outside, like trying to yell through to communicate. Right. Put stuff in the tube and let it come and still on the other side.
Yeah.
So yeah. But because I've been in enough relationships where I've been held accountable for what the person before me did.
Mm.
I have always kind of been a person where I don't really care who you are. I feel like certain rules they go across the board. You know, male, female, old, young, cross transracial, it doesn't matter. Like it applies for all. Forgiveness is for you.
Yeah. And we hear that quite a bit.
And
Yeah,
I was like,
we
it really is.
Yeah.
But if you think about all of the things that comes with unforgiveness, it's tiring.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you really want to be that tired all the time? Do you really want to be carrying around all that stuff? You know,
Right.
people love to use the scripture that, God won't give me more than I can bear. One of my favorite ministers, Yolanda McKinney, she had said, have you ever thought about the fact that you're carrying stuff that God never even gave you to carry in the first place?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
you over here talking about God's not going to give me more than I can carry, but you over here and you done picked up 12 bags that he didn't hand to you, tell you to carry, didn't give you a destination for you to drop them off. And now he's giving you what you're supposed to carry. And you over here like, well, Lord, really? I got all of this stuff on me right now.
Yeah.
If you don't figure out how to put them 12 bags down and only pick up what he told you to take on.
Right. Absolutely. Raphael says, I have trust issues now that I had to divorce my wife. And that comes with the territory, depending on what the reason is. And there's a process, there's a process of healing, no matter what the relationship is, whether it's romantic relationship, friendship, or business. There's a level of healing that has to take place so you don't push that on the next person, the next business partner, the next friend, the next person that you get in a relationship with. So there's a process that you have to go through, and you have to vet those events that took place. Like, is it something that was it so damaging that it's going to take me much longer to get over this, or is it something that was where I can really work through it and overcome this quickly? Like when I dated a police officer in Philly last year, early part of this year, and everything was great in the beginning. Like, it was good, and then all of a sudden it was like a light switch, and he just flipped out on me, and I was looking at him like, are you serious? Really? But the thing that really surprised me, because how I felt about him, I just knew that I was about to be devastated, just totally devastated. And I wasn't, because I thought about the lesson. I had a couple of days where I was just like, oh my goodness. And it was right before my birthday. And I'm thinking, can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, now I can. You went out for a sec.
Oh, and I'm like, it's a couple of days before my birthday. And I'm not gonna get any presents, or I was thinking like that jokingly. But it really did not take me long to get over it, because we had already started separating from one another, one. And two, I looked at the lesson that I learned from being with him. The lesson was, he showed me how I wanted to be treated. Like, before he wigged out on me, he treated me very well. So I was like, oh, this is nice. So now I know that. So it wasn't a total loss at the time. So I was able to move on from that. Now, past relationships, I would have been like crying and days of seclusion and trying to figure out like what's wrong with me. But I know clearly there's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, Raphael, and you hear this a lot, especially when it tends to be, the wife leaving the relationship, that you know, they're stunned, or they, you know, were taken by surprise. Um, and maybe the length or to the depth in which people go might surprise you, but people are creatures of habit, and
Yeah.
they tell you things. So sometimes I think, like, when you get to the place where you are, where now you are divorced, this way you're not holding the next person, you know, accountable. The question is, you know, what flags could I, you know, have seen, or what was said? Like you said, assessing the situation, seeing what lessons you can actually learn from it.
Right.
But then also paying more attention next time,
Yeah.
because you can see and or hear things before we get so invested that we get to the place of marriage, or well, you know, we get to the place where we're 3-4 kids in deep, and you know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? All these different things that now make it harder for us to leave, or excuses and or reasons for us to stay when we should be leaving. You know what I mean? I think that's something that we don't that we skip in the moving on process. You know what I mean? We go from the breakup to now wanting to point fingers or playing a blame game or whatnot for a hot minute. Or we're over here, you know, having a pity party for ourselves. Oh, woe is me. No one's ever going to want me anymore. You know, this, that, and the third. And then it's like, well, now where do I go from here? And most of us then end up getting back into that rebound stage,
Yeah.
because we haven't, as you said, assessed what was it that I was supposed to learn from this situation. You know what I mean? I have a friend I love dearly who has been in, you know, multiple relationships, and we've known each other probably going on like 25 years or so. So, like, you know, early middle school, we met each other. So, you know, first boyfriends, first girlfriends, all of this kind of thing, like we've been through it. So now sitting here at almost 40, I can have a conversation like, dude, when I say you have a type, when I say you have a this, like, I need you to get this is I don't want to tell you what your lesson is, because that's not what my job is. But here's one of the lessons that you're supposed to be learning here, bro. Let me give you the cliff notes here, because
Let me give you the Cliff Note version.
you keep repeating these
Oh, yeah.
same, you know, the same thing over and over again. You keep, well, I don't know why it keeps ending up in the same kind of relationships. You keep attracting the same kind of people, literally the same kind of people. So I'm like, now let me give you a checklist so that you can go down. And if these people check off all of these boxes, you need to stay far away from them.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It just means that this is not the type of person that you're supposed to be with, because you're supposed to be learning the value of knowing your value.
Right.
You over here on the phone telling me to find the stops and know what my worth is and stop giving all that I'm over here giving. Meanwhile, you literally got to do the same thing for yourself.
Yep. Yep.
Take
Absolutely.
your own advice. You know what I mean?
Right. Welcome, John. So happy to have you on. And he says, if you walk into a relationship with your eyes open, after you've had that long talk with yourself, the new relationship is a little easier, provided you are dealing with an adult that has also done the work.
Absolutely.
Man, that is so good, because if you have done the work and they have not, and they're not secure in who they are, know what they want, where they want to go, but you've done the work, then you will easily spot that, okay, they are not ready.
Yeah.
And that happened. I moved here to Texas and ended up back in the dating scene again, and I dated this guy, and I made it very clear that, you know, I was looking for something serious, something permanent. I had done the work on me. I was ready, but he wasn't. Didn't take anything away from who he is. He's a great guy, but he wasn't ready for what I was ready for right then. But he wanted me to wait around till he got ready. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not, because there's no timeline. But he talked about, you know, having some trust issues and what happened in his marriage when he got divorced and blah, blah, blah. And I get that. Okay, but so you need to do some more work on you so you're ready. I am ready. I've done the work. I've labored. I've checked me. I've dealt with me. I know who I am and what I'm looking for, and we're cool. We split it, and it was cool. But he still wanted me to can you just wait until? No, no, I can't. I can't. Maybe you need to be with someone who is yet waiting too, so y'all could just do things together. But I'm not that. That's not me. So I
Absolutely.
had that talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was like, you've got to get to a place once you started or have done the work on you. What you are not allowing in your space is construction projects,
Oh
because you know the amount of work that is necessary to get to a certain place. And
yes.
it's like, it would be one thing if someone came alongside you that was doing the same work that you were doing. And so now it's almost like having a gym partner where you guys are pushing each other and you're constantly moving. But to get someone where you're like, you're already here and you're about to plant this flag on the top of the mountain, and you got somebody who's really at the bottom and they still over here talking about putting this harness on. No.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
stand here at the top with this flag and I'm gonna say, you can do it. You got this.
Yeah.
But then I'm gonna go look for another mountain to climb. Like,
Yeah. And we hold ourselves back. And this is in relationship and in business. We hold ourselves back by the people that we connect with. Like,
yeah,
you have to be
absolutely.
connected to the right people who have like minds. If you're in a conversation with someone and all they're talking about is doom and gloom and, oh, I'm being held back and I can't do this, and you're like finding ways to go around what they're saying they can't do, you have found a way to get around it and then move on down the road. Like, why? Okay, you stay right there, because you're just going to be a killjoy. Like, you're going to take all of my energy. You're going to take all of my drive and my determination. And in this stage in my life, personally, I'm not willing to do that. I'm not. I'm
Right.
not. John said, keep on being the gift. Right.
Yeah.
So you know who you are. You know what you possess. You know where you're going. Like you said, if I'm about to plant that flag on the top of the mountain and you're still down there like, help me. No, no, no. No more projects. I took on too many
Too
projects.
many. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God.
My new analogy is not even just construction projects, but it really is taking home strays. I am that person who will take home anything that looks cute and might need some kind of. I mean, I live right out behind like a major highway. So when I saw this humongous bullfrog, I'm like, he's gonna be like Frogger. So I kept him because that's what I could do. But then when you start thinking about all the things that came along with it, I was like, I got to get up every day and go worm hunting. What happens if it doesn't rain? Now I'm over here commandeering my husband to get these grasshoppers that literally bite to be trying to get them to feed this bullfrog. Why? Because you know what? So it's like we say, you lay down with certain dogs, you get up with fleas. That's why you don't bring home every stray. And it doesn't matter how many times you over here and put that flea tick stuff on in him and get all that little shampoo and the grit. Listen, some things you just can't undo.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So Jason said that's true. Forgiveness is for you no matter what the issue may be or caused it. Exactly. And Catherine said, amen. No projects. Like I did when I was a child, I did childish things, which was build things. Right now, I'm building a legacy. Like, I'm building future for my generations. I'm not building. I will build you as far as encouraging you and help you as you do things for yourself. I'm not going to do all
I'm
that.
not going to do them for you. No, because I've got enough on my to-do list in the first place. John said, you ladies are right. Don't be a bum magnet. The funny thing is, women who are in a space that we are, you know what I mean? Women who are attempting to evolve, constantly growing, learning to, to getting to know ourselves and learning how to love who that is. That's literally who the bums are attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
So that is our biggest lesson. That is our biggest takeaway in this situation is know that that's exactly what you are. Being in the space that you're in, yes, you are going to attract bums. So what you about to do about it? This is the last test before, the space that you're in has a different level of people.
Mm-hmm.
But this
Oh
is
yeah.
still it's still that testing of making sure that you know what your worth is, making
Yeah.
sure you know what your value is, and then acting accordingly. Not
Yes.
necessarily having to give where you shouldn't be giving, because that's what we do.
Right. Girl,
God
you
gives us
prophesied
giving
good
hearts, but
tonight.
at the same time, it's like you ain't got to give to everything.
Yeah.
Just like
Absolutely.
you know, you could drive up and you could see a homeless person. Sometimes you're led to give, sometimes you aren't. Sometimes
Mhm.
you're led to go get something, you know, to eat. Sometimes you aren't. It's the same exact thing. You got to be a good steward of what you're giving.
Right. Right.
And when you're not doing that, then yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
them
Raphael,
bums and them haters, they come.
right. Raphael says his 13-year-old daughter
Yes.
is what moved him forward with his life. Yeah. So you have people or things that you strive for that give you the motivation to move forward and not wallow where you are. We all make mistakes. We all take a wrong turn, but we got to recognize, wait a minute, this is not the street I'm supposed to be on. Let me put this GPS on and get on the right road. And that could be in the form of your children or
Yeah.
other significant family members, or just your goals and dreams that you keep before you. Like we hear about all the time of having your goals written down. David Emanitier, who's one of the CEOs of one of the companies I'm in, he talks about setting goals, writing them down, reading them every day, reading them out loud so you can hear them. And that gives you the motivation and the drive. I know for me now, it's my 9-year-old daughter and it's my two grandsons. They're 1 and 3, and then I have another one. My daughter's having another baby. I have another one on the way. Like they are my motivation to do. I know, right? To do what I want to do.
Sorry. Side note.
Yeah, side note. And it's a boy. So she has 2 boys and about to have another boy. My goodness. But anyway, John says, because a bum knows what your time costs, a man knows how to value a woman that's working in a positive direction. And I know for a minute, that's who I attracted. Those that saw me and who I was and where I was going before I even recognized it myself. So then they were like, "Oh, she don't know where she's going. She don't
Yep, them
recognize who she is.
pictures.
Let me connect to her and let me just
Yep.
leech off her." And that's exactly what it was. So now that I've come into April and I have clear direction and clear sign and knowing of who I am, it's like, wait, oh, I recognize you from the front. No. We're not
Right.
getting ready to settle. I'm not getting ready to do that. Nah, I'm good.
And I like how John said he was like, a man knows how to value a woman that's working in a positive direction, in the sense of not some boy, not some immature like it's an actual mature person who knows how to value. Because if you value something, you'll also nurture something. You'll take care of something. You will pour into something. You're not going to be taking away, squandering it, depleting it, trying to kill it or staunch it out. And that is, you know what I mean? That's the difference in a lot of those situations.
That's right.
So that's another pointer that you should be looking for in the moving on. You know what I mean? When you are now considering the next person, and can I trust this person, and is this person? These are the questions that you need to be asking yourself. If you're going to bring back some stuff from the previous relationship, it's what did I learn? What didn't I like? What is it that I want to bring to this relationship that I wasn't bringing in the last one? You know what I mean? What is it? Not only what you don't want, but what is it that you do want? So that you can be able to communicate that from the beginning. Because I think that's where a lot of us also falter as well. We don't set the boundaries clear in the beginning. So now we get halfway through, or we over here doing some work now, and now we setting some new boundaries, and a person done got used to 6, 7, 10 years of just abusing us, but because we didn't know how to say nothing, now they over here looking at, well, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, absolutely. John, you need to come on here and have a conversation with us. You're dropping some good stuff. Do you want the link? Because we can send you the link right now for you to join us. He says you cannot share your space with someone unworthy. But the thing is, we have to recognize when they are not on our level, whether that's relationship or with business. If you are innovative and you're forward thinking and future thinking for your business, and you have the blueprint and the plan to take it to the next dimension and what it's going to do for the world and for you and those that are connected, but you are connected with someone who's like, no, that's just too much, we need to scale back. Come on. Now, I can understand being cautious, but if you want me to completely scale back and not pursue the dreams and not go there to make this business what I dreamt it to be from the beginning, yeah, you're not worthy to be in this space. We're going in two totally different directions. So you
Right.
go there, and I'm going to take this and take it to the moon, and then we'll see what happens there. But he said a bum cannot recognize when your cup needs filling.
Mhm.
That's because they're too busy trying to get their cups filled and it's full, and they're being greedy and they want it overflowing. And then you're over here looking like a shriveled up prune while they're all fat and plump because they have taken everything from you, taken your ideas, taken your joy, taken all of your time, and not poured back into you. That I'm telling you, if you pour into me, if you encourage me and push me the way that I encourage and push you, you won't even be, you'll be like, oh my God, who are you? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Beware of takers. Absolutely.
Yes,
Come on,
absolutely.
man. I
Because
told you.
here's the thing: if we are already filling our cup
Yeah.
ourselves, anything extra that somebody comes and pours in should be creating some kind of overflow,
Yeah.
which the takers can have, because I could really care less. The point, or where my focus is making sure that my cup stays full.
Right. Yep. Yep.
So if the right kind of people are pouring into my cup and they not changing the flavor of my tea, I'm the one that's making sure that I'm keeping my tea the way that it's supposed to be. Then whatever, like I said, whatever fills over, y'all can have that.
Mm-hmm. Jason said that was my problem in my past relationships. I tried to help and build someone that wasn't ready to build a future nor business, but now I have grandkids, and seeing my older kids build their lives really encouraged me to move forward. Absolutely. Absolutely. Focus on what your motivation, change your outlook, change what you're looking at, change what you are, focusing on. What are you focusing on? What are you looking at? What are you constantly thinking about? Change that so you can change who you are. He says a stolen chi is something you cannot get back. Right. Time you can never, time and energy wasted on the wrong spaces in the wrong areas, doing the wrong things with the wrong people is just a wasted time. And I can't waste any more time. Do you see how quickly this year went by? Like, we are embarking on 2024 in a matter of a couple of weeks. Like, I don't have time to waste to get to my goals. I have goals. I'm working towards those goals. I will reach those goals. I will blow them out the water. So wasting my time on things that are not benefiting me, that are not serving me, that don't have a purpose, that seem to be a hindrance. Yeah, I don't have time for that. I just
Right.
don't. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes people do have to be prepared to be alone, John. That's true. Sometimes you do. But maybe it's just for a season. It could be for a season. Being alone for a season is not bad because then you don't have the distractions. And I find that when I am alone for a season, I'm able to really take a look at me and see if there's anything else that I need to work on personally, whether it's take some classes or go to some workshops, or if I just need to do things and rediscover me again before I allow a business partner, a relationship back in my space again. So yeah. Oh, he said send the link. Okay. Um, Catherine said, Catherine, we're gonna send you that link. So Catherine said, what about if you're trying to deal with someone who does not have a spiritual foundation, or is in a very different place than you are spiritually? Wow.
Well, I mean,
Let me see if I can find John.
say it again. Well, I mean, it sounds like you are unequally yoked, number one. That's not to say that you can't help someone be able to grow. But I mean, people grow, and people's spiritual journey, that's personal growth. You know what I mean? That's like trying to say that all babies are supposed to be growing at the same rate. You know, they don't. You know, some walk at 8 months and some don't walk until 16 months. And that doesn't make the one that walked at 6 months any, greater or better. It's just that they got to the next milestone before, another one did. But it is very much hard. And it's going to be like having a conversation with a 4-year-old about calculus.
Mm.
A 4-year-old might know how to count to 10. They might have some kind of concept of numbers, but at the end of the day, the concept that you are trying to teach isn't still something that they can, one, be able to intellectually grasp, but two, they don't necessarily have the foundation for. So at this point in time, it's almost a waste of a conversation. A lot of people talk about, communication is key, but comprehension is as well. So if you don't have comprehension, if you don't have some kind of reference, some kind of foundation in the first place, then certain conversations you can't have. I know I've tried to have conversations with people that are on a completely different spiritual level than I am. And so I'm over here like about to get flustered, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not even supposed to be arguing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The word, like, it speaks for itself. So at this point in time, like, if they don't get it, that's not for me. It's, for me to just show what compassion and, what love looks like anyway, and just allow, the Holy Spirit or, time to be the one that, reveals what needs to be revealed. Like,
yeah. John, I sent you that link on Facebook Messenger. Look in your others, because we're not friends on there. So I went into another place, but the link is there. But also too, with that, what you said was really good, but making sure that you set your boundaries and know what you're willing to tolerate and not when it comes to that. So I knew a guy here, well, not in here in Texas, and we were having conversations, and he said he used to be in ministry, and then he got out of ministry. And one of the things I remember him saying in a conversation we had was that he was not ever going back to church again or having anything to do with ministry. And at first, it took me by surprise, but I'm like, did I really hear that? So a little while later, maybe, 2 or 3 conversations later, I said, you know what? Because it bothered me. And I said, I want to ask you a question. Now, you told me that, did you say that you were not going to be in ministry or go back to church ever again? He said, oh, yeah, that's what I said. I said, okay, listen, you cool and all, but where I'm going and what I'm doing in ministry, like, that ain't mixing. That's not going to work. So, I mean, it's nice knowing you, and I wish you all the best, but
right.
No, because I can't have that for my spiritual walk. And for whatever your spirit, those that are watching, whatever your spiritual walk may be, you can't have anybody to look in your spam, check your spam, or either maybe we can put it here. Can you put that up there, Peach, so he can see that? There it is. There's the link there. Click that. I probably should have done that from the beginning. But yeah, you got to be able to know where you are and not allow people to do that and take you to a place you don't want to be. Because if I'm growing spiritually and I'm getting closer to God or whomever your higher power is, and however you do it, then yeah, I'm not going to do. Hi, Noah.
What?
That's my buddy. Oh, yeah.
I didn't call
So, Catherine, I hope that answers your question. Don't go backwards. You're trying to move forward and progress forward. The only way you just can't settle. If it doesn't feel right, then that's your clear sign right there. Yep. John said some of us are still caught up in aesthetics as opposed to mental athletics. Come on.
Exactly. That looks like they should be on a t-shirt, right?
Outside and how good they look instead of what's going on in this mind.
I don't, to be 100% honest, that's the only reason why I could not successfully online date. I felt like online dating was more about aesthetics than everything else.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's so easy to come up with a profile and write all of these things
Yeah.
that make you sound like the most amazing person in the world. But then once I meet you,
Yeah. It's
not
like,
so much, like
yeah.
catfished on so many levels. Like I don't even care that you don't look the way that your picture was. Like you're not even the person that you said you were gonna be.
Yeah.
Like that's
It
whack.
was, it's, I can't even think of the right word for it, but it was interesting to go from when I was married to then being single for the 5 years and not really doing anything. And I never really wanted to do dating apps or things like that. But I was out and about and doing stuff and it was not profitable. So I'm like, okay, let me try it. But you get all this wonderful stuff that they write, and you're like, right, let me see. So then when I meet you or when I have a conversation with you, it's like, are you serious? Just bye. No, this ain't gonna work. Like GH1 Accord says, when God shows you someone's character and you feel negativity, take heed. And we
Yeah.
don't always do that. We're like, well, maybe, and that maybe is what's going to get you in trouble. Like, nah, get out of here, beat it. Got to go.
Gets me in trouble. And so now I'm not over here. Like the moment my head goes, well, shut up. Just shut up. Shut it up.
Yeah.
You go sit down in the corner over there. Like
Just
let the grown folks handle
there.
this, okay?
Just go there. Just don't say another word.
Don't-
You're in
don't.
timeout indefinitely. Just go. Zip it. Right.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Jason said it's like trying to mix fresh water with salt water. Yeah, ain't mixing. That's right, John.
Yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
high school.
It is like high school.
people
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
know.
And I hated high school, like in that sense. Like I like that was just not my thing. Like I did not fit in, but I didn't fit in anywhere either. You know what I mean? Like I was just friends with everybody. I didn't lay claim to a clique because I just always thought that was weird. But I also never fit in anywhere. You know, I went to predominantly white schools. So it was like I was never black enough for the black kids. I was never white enough for the white kids. I was like, I just never, you know, I was the shortest person in the class. I was the first one alphabetically. I was, you know what I mean? It was like always these little things somewhere that would come up.
Right.
Like, yeah, no, that's not it. But actually, so speaking of which, gender roles in the home.
Ooh, let me take a sip.
Since we were talking
have
about
me a glass of wine right now. Like, let me sip on this.
I know I was finishing off my my mushroom coffee, but yes, we can definitely be our own worst enemy. And I think that having gender roles is part of being your own worst enemy. I'm the only woman in my house. We have 3 sons, and then there's my husband. So what's not about to happen is I'm the only one in here cooking. I'm the only one in here cleaning. I'm the only one in here doing laundry. Sorry. As I like to say to my husband, call Happy Helpers, which is a shameless plug for my girlfriend's cleaning company. But call her up, tell her to get somebody to come over here on a weekly, a bi-weekly basis, whatever it is, because that's not just one responsibility.
Yeah.
I saw this mindful parenting account that I follow, and it was talking about not saying to your kids about like, oh, here, help me with these chores. This is not, first off, it's not a chore. It's work. This is housework. And you're not helping me do anything. You're not doing me a favor. This is me teaching you what the actual upkeep of a house looks like. Whether you get married or not, whether you're in a relationship, whatever, like there's going to be some point in time where you can't afford to go get yourself a cleaning service, which means you're going to have to know how to vacuum. You're going to have to know how to sweep. You're going to have to know how to wash clothes. You're going to have to know how to do dishes. You know what I mean? You might not have the luxury of having a dishwasher, which means you have to learn how to be able to conserve water. Why? Because you also have a water bill. These, like, all of these things that have to be taught. These are things that, one, we should be taught at home, but everybody should be learning. I know in my house, I'm about to start in the new year a cooking rotation, which means that I'm going to have to teach my boys how to cook certain things, regardless of whether or not I want it. We're just going to make sure that it's edible and it's food safe.
Right.
But I'm not going, everybody, just because you're hungry doesn't mean you got to go look at me talking about what we eating.
I know that's right. When your hands are capable, like the video you sent me, and I remember that episode of the Cosby
That
Show.
was one of my favorite.
Elvin was talking. So Morgan sent me this clip from the Cosby Show when Elvin was talking to Dr. Huxtable about the gender roles, pretty much, and him cooking and his mom and how she did the cooking, and if she didn't cook, he would be like, "What are we gonna eat?" Like, bruh. And so
exactly, he said. But the funniest
your hands broken.
that was the funniest thing was, at first Claire was on her way out, and so Dr. Huxtable was like, "Well, I will have something for you when you get home." So she's like, "Ooh, will it be something that I recognize?" And he goes, "I hope so." And so he walks out the door. So now they're all laughing. He's like, "Well, let me get started." So he looks at me, he was like, "You about to cook for her?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "She goes out to work, so why can't she come home to a hot meal?" Right. And for him to say, "Well, yeah, my mom is a working woman, and I don't really like that much," had me laughing hysterically, because you have this grown man, because he is well past, 18 years old, still living at home, and complaining about the fact that his mom is working. And so if she come home and she doesn't feel like cooking, like he said, now he's over here asking, "Well, what are we supposed to eat?"
Mm-hmm.
If you don't figure it out.
Right. Yeah. I'm grateful for my kids because I started teaching them young how to take care of themselves and do for themselves. Out of all my kids, I have 4, and one is only one son, but he can cook, he can clean, and clean well. Like, he kept his room cleaner than my daughters kept their room. Like, how do y'all let him do that? But he knows how to cook. And he specifically took cooking classes. He says he took the cooking classes at school so he could eat stuff, but he came home and would cook some of those recipes, like had them in a notebook. So there ain't no gender roles around here. And so they thought he was the only one that needed to take the trash out. No, ma'am. No, if you're in here and that trash can is full, you better walk into the garage and put it in the dumpster in the garage. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. In the kitchen world, we have there's a couple of sayings, but there's one that said there's no such thing as "that's not my job."
Oh, yeah.
So there really is no such thing as "that's not my job." As a server, washing dishes, how is that not your job? If you don't have clean dishes for the food to go on, it can't go to your table, which is also your job. So washing the dishes is most definitely your job. Taking off, food off of tables, that's not your table that you're not serving. That's not your job, but those people might be at your table the next time.
Mm-hmm.
So at no point in time picking up something off the floor, well, I'm not the janitor, no, but you never know. That one thing could help keep somebody from having a fall and trip.
Yeah.
Which is money out your paycheck at the end of the day, because now they don't have to fork over some insurance claims because it's, that's not, there's no such thing as "that's not my job." Yeah. If it's something that needs to be done, if you see the need, fill it. Be that person that is proactive rather than reactive. You know what I mean? I know when you went to go put that thing into the trash, I know you saw that it was full. So what makes you think that it's okay to just keep stacking stuff on top of it as if it's supposed to miraculously take itself out? We haven't gotten to that level of technology yet.
Yeah, right.
But we have, but some of us ain't trying to get to that point. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
And I
like,
believe that, we work together as a team. We're family, yes, but we're a team also. So if you were at a family reunion and you were playing tug of war or some other game, and it's one family against the other, you're working together then. So why not do the same thing in the household? I told my kids,
absolutely.
So this is so funny. The first summer that Ariel went with her dad in Ohio and spent the entire summer, I told my kids, the ones that was there, I said, listen, y'all ain't gonna hardly see me this summer. And my son was like, Mom, I want some spaghetti because they love when I cook spaghetti. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, well, the ingredients are there. Just going in there. He's like, no, Mom, I like when you cook it. Well, you're gonna be hungry because I ain't doing it. I said I could take myself out to eat every night if I wanted to. So if you want spaghetti, the pots and pans and the food is in there. You
Exactly.
handle that.
Exactly.
What he do? He went in there and cooked the spaghetti. Okay, like what? No, I'm here
Exactly.
to enjoy myself. I'm not doing that. Everybody takes a turn. Everybody does what's necessary. It's not one person over the other. So if you're trying to put that on me, on what you the woman, you're supposed to do this. No. Let's get this straight. Let's clarify this. We're not doing that.
Exactly.
That's what
No.
we're not
There
gonna
was
do.
only one job that I could do in this house that nobody else could do, and that was when I was breastfeeding Noah. Nobody else in this house could do that but me. And so that was the only responsibility that I was not putting on anybody else in this
Yeah.
household. Like that's
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how it should be.
Mhm.
A lot of our generation right now is talking about wanting to homestead. Y'all can't be talking about homesteading and then want to be talking about gender roles at the end of the day,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
because you're gonna have to get up earlier than you think that you really want to, because them chickens need to be fed, them
Mhm.
cows and them goats need to be milked.
Oh yeah. And I never had no desire for none of that. No, thank you. I'm not that girl.
Certain things need to be
No, no,
picked.
no.
And even if you're not, we'll see. And that's the thing. Like, so I have friends that are just like, I don't have a green thumb at all. Like, that's not me. But I can knit, or but I like kids. Okay, well, the kids get up at the butt crack of dawn, 7 o'clock in the morning. Are you up doing this thing? Okay, fine, cool. Being out in the field might not be your thing, but you do cook on the inside. Everybody's going to be up at a certain time, so
Right.
breakfast needs to get started in the whole 9 yards. You need to be up with those who are bringing in stuff. Whoever went and
Mhm.
got those eggs need to be talking to you in the kitchen, because don't you need to know how?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, it's got to work like a well-oiled machine. There's got to be communication. Everything has its own place, and you can always
Mhm.
learn to do something else as well. I think
Yeah.
one of my jobs at Whole Foods, Whole Foods was probably one of the most rewarding jobs I've ever had. And that's because they allow you to go into different areas and learn different things. So, like, I started off in the prepared food section doing caterings, but then also doing some of the like on hands food.
Mhm.
Eventually, I got to a place where I was just like, you know what? I've always wanted to know, like, learn how to make sausage, so that I
Mm.
can go over to the meat department. So I went over to the meat department, and they teach you how to be able to make sausage. I might decide after that, I want to learn how to, fillet fish. Okay, cool. Move over into the fish department. And so now you've got all this fish that you got to, you have no choice but to learn how to do that all day
Mhm.
long with different ones, and how to debone this, how to get the most meat out of this, that, and the third. So it was, a constant learning opportunity in so many different things, rather than
Yeah.
getting stuck in one area. And I think
Yeah.
that's where sometimes we get stuck, whether it's a role or something that we're supposed to be doing, or just even a job description. Well, that's not in my job description, so I'm not doing anything more.
Mhm.
Is it gonna kill you?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, this one little thing, is that going
right,
to break
exactly.
the
And I'm not
camel's
talking
back?
about giving too much so you're taking advantage of. That's not what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Because jobs will do that to you too. No,
Right.
but
Right.
at the same time, I was like, there should be a place where, it's not like you just showing up.
Yeah. Jason said it all starts at home. When it comes to a man's role in a home, when he gets married, he should be able to help around the house. He said his mother taught him how to cook, clean, and do his part when he's married. She told him not to depend on a woman but help her. he said he's speaking from a man's perspective. And then he also said he was that guy that worked on the farm. So he really understands that part. Yes. So,
Look,
shout
I
out
don't
to
look
all
at it
the
as
mothers
helping.
who
I don't
raised
look at
their
it as
sons.
helping though, because here's the thing: you're not helping me do my job. This is also your job.
Yeah. So
So it's just a
doing
matter of
part of it.
exactly we are sharing the workload.
Yeah.
Like that is the extent of it. The workload isn't just mine, but that helping. I was like, I think that's where a lot of people get off. Like, why do I need to help her do this? What?
Yeah.
You're not helping me. You're actually creating a clean environment that you have to also live in. Like, I don't know why you don't get it, especially when you go and turn around and look at me talking about you want something else from me later on.
Right.
Why not then create the space then so that I can, or I don't have to act like I'm too tired or I got a headache. Heck yeah, I'll act like I got a headache in a heartbeat if you got to help me.
Yeah.
Because your help is a pain in my butt too. Because it's not really helping. I got to come behind you and redo everything that you did before. Or you standing here asking me 50, 11 questions about how to do something. Like, no. No.
Because the nightfall will come. And people are going to get that look in their eye and it's going to be like, what? What? What's that look for? They're like, I don't know what you're thinking.
That's one of the first things that I tell like my postpartum partners all the time. I'm like, listen, there are things that you can do. I don't want to hear no, well, I can't feed the baby, so I can't do. But all the other things that you can do right now, go clean some bottles, go vacuum the floor, go take care of the other kids that are in the other room wanting to ask her 50, 11 questions. You know what I mean? Like there's things that can be done to help to take off the load for somebody else so that they can be able to create more time. Because at the end of the day, who really wants to do housework? Who always wants to be cleaning? Who wants to be doing dishes and laundry and stuff all the time? Nobody.
Nope.
So if we're sharing the load to get it together, that just gives us now more time to be able to spend with each other. That allows us to be able to, be able to go outside the house and know that when we come home, we're coming home to, a clean, organized space.
Yeah.
But we're not having to come home to, I was telling my therapist the other day, I don't do well with going on vacation and my house is a wreck.
Oh, yeah.
Because 2-3 days before we coming back, that's all that's in my head, which means now it's robbed me of the last few days of my vacation because all I'm doing is dreading having to come back to go do excellent. That is not the look.
Shout out to my mom who told us and taught us that before you leave your house, even if you're not going out of town, if you're going to school, if you're going to work, make sure that it is together and clean because you never know how you're coming back. So if I'm going on vacation and I've lived it up on vacation, the last thing I want to do when I come back is have to clean. I want to come back and throw that suitcase in the corner and chill. That's what I want to do and take it, empty my suitcase out in like 3 or 4 days to take my time.
That is totally me. Yep, leave it outside.
Yeah, I don't do that. No. Yeah, so my mom, I'm grateful for her for teaching us that and instilling in that, her and my grandmother, my great grandmother teaching us that stuff. So I make sure like anytime I leave, the sheets are clean, the bed is made, the laundry's done, the bathroom is clean, the house is clean. So when I go and come back, it's like, I can go and just lay on this bed and turn this TV on if I want to. I don't have to worry about going in here and clean up the kitchen and I'm good.
Exactly. What spoiled and died while I was gone.
Yeah.
Like I'm even purposefully grocery shopping so that I'm not leaving stuff that I know is not gonna last while I'm gone. You know what I mean? Like even those kind of things. Ooh, that should be it. That would be a good topic. To prepare for how to prepare to whether it's going away for like a quick getaway or on vacation in general, because there's a lot of things that I think a lot of people don't think of on their way out. You know what I mean? Like travel hacks. And this would be good because you do a lot of traveling as well. So just entrepreneurs as well as, parents that have to just jump out and, do some traveling. What's going to be the most efficient way to be able to do that? And even when we talk about vacation and entrepreneurship, are you turning off your phone completely?
Mhm.
Or are you just giving a certain amount of time while you're there to work? How exactly are you finding that kind of balance? So I
Yeah.
don't know. Have some
I'm doing
different-
things totally different in 2024. I just want you to know that. Totally different.
I'm excited to hear the changes and see
Totally
the
different
changes.
in 24, and I'm excited about it. A little, I'm not scared or nervous. I'm excited, and it's like watchful, like preparing. Like, ooh, there's just so much that's getting into place right now, and then getting into place, so it can just be unleashed in January. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Y'all, we have had a wonderful time this evening talking about forgiveness, moving on, and gender roles. Jason said, I've been there and done that, done all the work, cook, clean, and wash clothes. This generation don't believe in helping each other. They want to put all the work on the woman and sometimes the man. Hey, I've seen situations where the female in the relationship was like telling the man, oh no, you got that, you do that. And they just sit back and do their own thing. Like, really? You're not going to do nothing? You just gonna sit there? What is your purpose, ma'am? What is your purpose, sir? Like, you're just an extra person.
Yeah, that waited on hand and foot.
Oh no, I will do what I want to do. If you, hey, I have no problem waiting on you and doing things for you, provided you are making me feel and making me feel that I matter and I'm important, and you do. It's reciprocal. It's not just me doing everything and you doing nothing. Like, we are equally doing it for each other. I don't mind, because I know that there's something that you're going to do. We complement each other well. So I'm that person. But
The
when
waiting on
I
hand
go
and
for,
foot is because you have taken everything off my plate. So the only thing I have to do is to wait on you hand and foot.
yeah, yeah,
That's about it.
it. Hey, there's benefits to this thing. Benefits, okay? You got to know how to work it. Work it for the benefits. Mike says, I do it all. Laugh out loud.
Yes,
Jason said, yes, 2024 is going to be a tremendous change for him also. He's looking forward to doing that. Absolutely. It's going to be phenomenal for the both of us. It is. Yes.
Yes.
So, what next week? Next week is our Where Are They Now series show, where we are going to bring back some of our guests from the 2023 year and see where they are since the last time they were on the show, how things have changed, what new things that they're doing. If you have been on the show in this year and you would like to pop in or stay on and let us know what's going on and just come in and say hi and give a recap, or let us know what you're doing now, what you're going to be doing in 2024. Let us know. Let us know. We want to have you on. You don't have to stay on the entire time, or if you want to, you can. You can just kind of pop in and talk a little bit and then go about your evening, however you want to do it. We're open, we're game to that. But we just want to hear what's going on, because we've had some great, amazing women on, female entrepreneurs all over the US, from California to Georgia and back and everywhere in between, coming on, gracing us. We're at, oh yeah, Portugal, right? Yes. Gracing us with their presence, even at, what was it, like 1 o'clock in the morning or 3
1
in the
o'clock,
morning? Yeah, even at that time of the morning in Portugal, to talk about their business, their organizations, and what they're doing in the community. We are excited about it. And we know we have not interviewed every female entrepreneur. And hey, if that's a goal we're striving for, we're going to keep striving for it. So if you know of a female entrepreneur that has not been on the show this year and they want to get on the books for next year, you better let us know. Reach out to Morgan in her inbox, or me in my inbox. Go to the House of Peach page, message there, email there. There's an email address. What you have so many ways to get in contact with us. I believe if you put a comment on YouTube stating that, then we'll get that even so that we can put you on the schedule. We would love to have you. Yes, you gonna say something?
No.
Oh, you got this look like I'm just waiting. So
No. This is I'm in anticipation.
I know, right? We're excited.
For
We're
those,
excited.
for those that are coming for next year. I was like, I mean,
Yeah.
our first year has been phenomenal, so I know it's
Yeah.
only up from here. So no,
Yes.
I'm
I think
excited.
one thing for me that has been so great is how, from the very first conversation you and I had, how we just, it was like talking to my friend that I hadn't talked to in a while and catching up and learning. And we talked and laughed on the phone. I know it was like almost 2 hours we were on the phone.
It was. And you know what? Everyone who's either on the show or has watched the show has always complimented our chemistry. And I just think that, sometimes when things are ordained and they're supposed to be, it happens,
Yeah.
like that. So,
And it's smooth. Yeah, it
yeah,
does. I'm a
absolutely.
firm believer that if it's not meant to be, then it's not going to happen. Then it's not going to mesh. There are going to be too many obstacles. There's going to be too many, the energy's not going to match and it's just not going to flow. But from the very first conversation, like, and it's funny because when Peach put the post up that I didn't even see about hosts for the show, I had somebody tag me in it, and I was like, oh, this sounds pretty cool. And so we had the meeting. I was the only one there. I was like, well, where's everybody else? And then a couple days later, Peach reaches out to me and she said, hey, there's another young lady who's interested in hosting the show with you, but you got to talk to her. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, right, I guess I will do that. And so then
which is really fun because when I had reached out, I thought it was going to be more people as well. So then when she was just like, oh, well, sure, you can talk to the person that you'll be co-hosting with, I was like, well, that was fast. Like there should be some kind of elimination process. Like So I was like, this is just unfolded in such a beautiful way.
Yeah. And it was meant to be the way that it happened, which is why nobody else showed up but us. Like nobody. Like, okay, then it was meant for us to do it together. Yes. And here we are almost a year later. So January 23rd of 2024 will be one complete year that we have been hosting House of Peach. And y'all, this has been great. Like I have enjoyed every single Tuesday. And Morgan and I still haven't met each other in person.
I know. I was going to be like, for our first anniversary, we should be together. But I have a baby that's due literally the next day. So I was like, exactly. We'd have to really plan that. Yeah, we'd have to plan that.
Yeah. And whenever we do that, we have to make it big. Like we have to go live. We have to do all of that. Yeah. Celebrate.
Well, if nothing else, that y'all might end up with a pre-recorded show. Okay.
Yeah.
We just do a show together.
Exactly.
Hey, y'all get to watch the replay.
Yeah. All right, guys. We thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for all of your comments. Thank you for all of your input. Thank you for being on. Thank you for sharing it. We appreciate you guys so much. Those faithful ones that tune in every single week, that support us and encourage us. I think Smack told us that it was good to be out into the community and hear the comments about House of Peach and about the show and what we're doing. And y'all just get ready. You ain't seen nothing yet, but we appreciate all of you because without you, it wouldn't be any us. Now we're here doing this because we love what we do and we like bringing people on and talking to people. But we want more. There's more people to reach. There's more things to do, and we shall and will do that in 2024. You got any closing remarks there, Morgan?
Nope. I love y'all, and I will see you next week.
Oh, Jason, this is so sweet. He said, April and Morgan, I just want to say that you ladies, because of the wisdom and knowledge that you all share, has been a great help. It really helps us to look at life in a different way from all angles of reality. Just you all being open-minded and discussing real matters and facts as well. Just want to say thank you. Oh, Jason.
Well, thank you very much. It is our pleasure.
It is that.
Our pleasure, yes.
All right, so next Tuesday we will be back with Where Are They Now? We will have
our
some of our
favorite.
guests come on. It's going to be fun. We're celebrating. Happy holidays, everyone. Join us
Yes.
next week at the same time at 7:15 Eastern Standard Time, 6:15 Central, and 4:15 Pacific. Until next week, see you later.
See you later.
Yeah, I'm so extra. Express myself, I'm next up. Yeah, what more do you say?